Hello, good morning to you. Welcome. It's me, Andy, and Talkin really. I thought I would do a quick video regarding the processes that you would find yourself in if you applied for PIP or any other benefit and you didn't get what you expected or you were refused. You can actually go for 2 more stages. One stage, mandatory reconsideration, is something that they do internally, and then of course the next stage after that, if you don't agree, is to go to the tribunal, and this is a court case, so this is a judge and various lackeys will decide your fate. The good news is that if you go to a tribunal for a PIP refusal, or you feel that you haven't got the right amount of points, that you've been refused or whatever, the likelihood is that you're going to get about 80% chance that you'll get your reward. So good news for tribunals. But obviously it shows that the DWP, if it goes to tribunal, they haven't done their job very well. Because if they go to court and you win, it proves the point that they did it wrong in the first place. But having said that, there is a process that you have to go through, and we all know what the DWP are like with regard to people with disabilities and on benefits. We know their agenda, unfortunately, and it has been like that for 12, 13 years. Now, it's not going to likely to get any better. In fact, I would argue that next year it's probably going to get even worse, because they're going to forcibly move all legacy benefit claimants onto universal credit, UC. So, you know, with all of that involved with transfer over, you also got to be very careful that you don't get screwed when you get transferred over and they give you a lower amount. Be very careful with that, because I believe that, well, it's a whole different ball game and a whole different video. But for now, just be aware. So you've applied for PIP, right? And they've come back with less amount, or you don't get any money at all. And there are quite a few people who have applied for PIP and they've been refused. They get 0 points or 0 money as well. So what you have to do is you have to go and challenge it, and it's called a mandatory reconsideration. It's an internal process of DWP, but there are obviously people that can help you. I am one of those. I offer one-to-ones, so if you want to get me to help you, then I can. It's a very reasonable service, and you can go on to my website, talkinreally.co.uk, and click on there and find the details of how to apply for a one-to-one. You know, entirely up to you whether you feel you can do it on your own or whether you want to help. You can also go for what's it called, various agencies. You can go to the Citizen Advice Bureau, or any other agency out there that offers this help. I know that there are lots of people out there. Some offer it for free, some offer it for a small fee, and whatever. If you don't feel that you can do it yourself, or you want the advice, you're happy to do it yourself, but you really want to just get some additional help, then that's fine too. So, what do you have to do to start with is go to this website here. This is it. This is the page that you will go to, gov.uk, mandatory hyphen reconsideration. If you disagree with the decision, this is obviously quite important. If you think they've made an error, or they've missed important evidence, or you disagree with the reasons, or you want to have the decision checked over, and it's highly likely that unless you get the full amount, then you probably need to consider this as a appeal process. So some decisions cannot be reconsidered, which is unfortunate, but hey, that's okay. But you can go straight to appeal. Now, your original decision letter that you get from them saying that either you have it or you don't, it will tell you what your next steps will be, and it will tell you if you can go to appeal straight away or not. But it has to be done within 1 month of the date of decision. So it's very important you do that within the month. Any of these benefits here that you can see, you can ask for a reconsideration. So in our case, it is PIP, down near the bottom there. Also, UC as well, which is quite interesting. UC, you can appeal that as well. The various things there, picking out different ones. You've got employment support allowance. You can appeal that. Income support, JSA, pension credit, which is quite topical at the moment, and winter fuel payment, which obviously you get per year based upon other benefits. So very, very interesting. There is a different process if you are on any of these other ones. If you're on any of these like housing benefit, child disability, child benefit, adult disability payment, any of these ones, you have to go on a different process for each item, and that is not covered in this video. Next stage is to challenge the actual decision. Now, make sure that you understand the reason for the decision before you ask for the reconsideration. This will help you to explain why you disagree with it. So this is going to have to look at your claim again. So your benefit may stop. It may stay the same, increase or decrease after a mandatory reconsideration. If you need help understanding this, you can call the benefit office. You can ask them directly, and they'll be able to explain the reason for your decision. You can still ask for it even after you've spoken to the benefit office. If you want an explanation in writing, you can ask for that. It is, but you do not need to do this for PIP, because your decision letter will include why and what you have to do next. But you can still ask for this reconsideration, but you must do it within 14 days of the date on your written statement of reasons. So asking for it, you have to do it via your journal. If you're on UC, you have to do it by phone, by letter, or doing this form, which is online. And of course, the contact details are on your decision letter. You have to do it within the month. And if you're writing, the letter or form must arrive by then, so within the month. And also, I would recommend that you get it signed for to prove that you did it in time. If you don't, they can argue they didn't get it. So, if you don't have the decision letter, then obviously you have to contact the office that you applied to, and they will send you that. If you're on UC, then you can obviously do that through your journal. This is not the appropriate time to discuss this, but you can see there, it tells you what to do, because at the moment we're talking about PIP. What you need to provide, you need to provide the date of your original benefit decision, your name, address, your date of birth, your national insurance number, and then explain what you think is wrong with the decision. And you can send evidence of this as well, so that's good. If you send evidence, any evidence you send needs to support your reasons for why the decision was wrong. That is, i.e., new medical evidence, a report or care plan, bank statements or pay slips. Only include evidence that you have not sent already. So if you have any new stuff, write your full name, date of birth, and national insurance on top of each bit of evidence and send it to the office where you applied. You cannot claim back the cost of any evidence you pay for. So if you pay for postage, it's currently about £2.85, something like that, to have a signed for receipt next day. Currently with the post office, so it may be cheaper than that because you have it if you have a C5DL or A5 size envelope. It might be a bit cheaper. So the things that you should not include are general information about your condition, appointment cards or letters, letters about tests that you're due, bus or train tickets to prove you have made a journey. If you're not sure what evidence to send, then you can look for the guidance, which is available. It tells you all about what you need to do. Or you can call the number on your letter. The good news is that after 1 month, you can ask for a mandatory reconsideration if you've missed the deadline, but it must be for a good reason. For example, if you've been on holiday, had a bereavement, or you must explain why it's late. Call the number on your letter and tell them that you're going to be doing this. Obviously, it's ideal that you do everything quickly and within time. Then you won't have any issues. So, the next steps are that they will review this, and you will get a letter telling you whether there's been any changes or whether they think that there's no changes necessary. And obviously it will explain the reasons for those decisions. When you've decided that you are going to appeal this, and you go onto this, click on the link and you'll get this come up. This is the actual forms that you need. So this is the request form. You download it, fill it in on screen, save, and then print. There's also there guidance if you disagree with the decision made. Here's the form. It's like a PDF form. It gives you all of the information that you need. It can be downloaded into Adobe Reader if that's still available. And of course, if you've got the paid version of it, you can edit the form and save it onto your computer. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in most of the software unless you pay for it. But it's, for some people, it may be easier to phone if you feel confident. The claim will be looked at in exactly the same way. But you have to be very careful because there's no sort of paper trail, and you may want that, even though it's not going to be taken into account. You can actually prove that you have done this when you go to tribunal, even though tribunal will probably ignore any sort of past paperwork because it starts from scratch. There will be another video on the tribunal, so don't worry. But for now, when we've done this, obviously if you feel confident, then do it that way. Otherwise, do it with the form. And there is a booklet, CRMR1A, which you can get, and it will explain the information you need to include. So when you complete the form, use black ink, write in block capitals so it's legible. You can type it if you wish, and you have the access to the online form. Everyone must complete part 1, 4 and 5. Only complete part 2 if you're filling in the form for someone else, and if you like myself or a agency or the CAB. Please print the form out and sign it, and then you're going to post the form to the address at the top of your letter. Send any evidence that you need that you've got, and they will send you a text message or letter to inform you that they've got it, which is a good thing. A different decision maker will look at your claim, so that's good as well. Obviously, these decision makers are DWP staff members. They don't know you, they don't know of your case, they only know what they have in writing and your previous application. So it's very, very difficult to say that they can be influenced in any way, because they can't. They're coming at it from a neutral point of view, and obviously when they've done their decision, you'll get the letter. So part 1 is very simple to do. Fill that in, making sure that you get your national insurance number, which benefit you're doing, your current address, postcode, telephone number, and for some reason they want to get your availability in case they want to call you. If you're having problems with phones and you're anxious or whatever, you may want to not fill that in. Obviously you have to put in there, maybe, I don't know if there's anywhere where you can put that in, that you are not happy to receive a phone call. However, if you have an agency or a helper, it might be possible to include them in your details. So if a representative is doing it, then obviously here is where you can specify their details and when they are available so that they can be talked to. But you obviously, if you haven't got a representative, you won't need to do this. But it could be a carer, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, a legal deputy, an agent, or a CAB advisor, or whatever. Part 3. Are you asking us to look at your decision again within 1 month of the decision? Yes. And you can put in there reasons for that, if you wish, very briefly, but there is a part here on part 4 telling them why you disagree with the decision, whether you have any new information, and you can put the information here, put a list of the documents that you have. They can't refund the costs, and there's a booklet there that will tell you what examples you need to put in. And have you attached all the evidence? Yes or no. Details of why you haven't attached the additional evidence in case you haven't received it, for example, like a medical report, for example, if it hasn't arrived yet. Check that you or your representative have done all these tick boxes and then sign the form after it's been printed. And they want it printed first, and then you sign in a box. And obviously if I'm signing this form for somebody else, it does say there that please sign authority, send the assigned authority for you to act on the claimant's behalf. You don't need to do it if you're already registered or you're the claimant's parents or legal guardian. So if it's me, for example, and I'm doing this, I have to have your permission, a letter of authorization that I'm acting on your behalf, which is something that would be separate. Now finally, if you disagree with all of this and you come back to mandatory reconsideration, then you have a tribunal. We are going to look at this in another video, so just for now, that is as far as we're going to go. I hope that's really sort of covered it in depth. A mandatory reconsideration for your application of various benefits, including PIP. Yeah, just to make that clear that we're talking about PIP today, but you can do it for other benefits that you have. Hope that will have helped to you, and if you do need any help, then don't forget I do offer the one-to-one service, and you can go onto my website talkinreally.co.uk and get details for that on there. Right, that's it from me. Have a very good day. Catch you later.